All right, the Positive Gains is back with our special guest today, Mike Rodriguez, UFC light heavyweight fighter, 11-4 record with an impressive KO last weekend. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get started. Where are you from?
From Boston, Mass. Born and raised. I live in Dorchester.
Okay. Take it you're probably a Pats fan, right?
I actually don't really watch sports.
Okay.
The only sport I really actually watch is like MMA. But if
MMA.
I do watch sports, it's usually like during the playoffs. And I just mainly go to like observe the players, see how they deal with adversity and things of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you get into MMA?
So I got into a fight in high school, and I knocked it. So everybody was walking around during the time. Everybody was walking to each other and hit each other in the balls in, like, Bangkok. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, it's capital time in Bangkok, all of that shit. So that was really big at the time. And I walked by this dude, and him and we bumped shoulders. And I'm 6'4", so he was like about like 6 feet. So we bumped shoulders. My arms are long, so I just I guess I grazed him there or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm telling you, you're fucking friends. And he tried to hit me up. So I hit him in the face with a strawberry milk, and I hit him with a 1-2, knocked him out in the cafeteria. And everybody was going crazy about, like, oh shit. And then one of my teachers grabbed me and was like, yo, you're gonna be suspended. But what I want to say is, he got impressive hands. So she introduced me. He gave me some DVDs. She's like, yo, while you're suspended, watch these DVDs. And it was a bunch of Pride DVDs. Oh. So I watched them. I called him. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. How do I get part of this? Yada, yada, yada. And he was like, all right, well, when you're done, he's like, when you're ready, I'll show you a gym. So he introduced me to a gym. And the gym that he introduced me to was Boston Muay Thai. And then from there, I just fell in love with it and just been pursuing that ever since.
Yeah. Well, it's good you've been able to harness that, that aggression.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your experience on the Contender Series. What was that like?
So going out there, I felt relaxed. I felt really good. Actually, so a little background story. I was supposed to be on week 1 fighting Daniel Spawn. And I did all my medicals. And when I found out, I did all my medicals and everything. And then I went to go take a blood test. My blood test came back from the Contender Series. They was like, oh, so prior to that, they flew us out to Vegas and made us do all our medicals there. And they did my blood test. When they did my blood test, a couple weeks later, while I'm in a training camp to fight Daniel Spawn, they called me and told me that my templates are low. So I found out that I have like a blood disorder. My mom has it, and now I have it, obviously. And it's when you're I forgot the name. I can never say the name of it, but it's when your white blood, your templates, your blood cell templates are really low and everything. So I found all of that out. So they were like, nope, we're too scared to have you fight. So they pulled me off the card.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like, fuck. So, I'm going through this emotional roller coaster. I'm going through all this depression and everything. And then like a week or two passed and someone pulled out of week 5. And I was like, hey, somebody pulled out, but we're going to have you fight Jamil Jones on week 5 for the main event spot. And I was like, word. So I had to switch gears. My whole training camp did a complete 180 because we was getting ready to fight Spawn. Spawn's an entirely different fight style from Jamil Jones. So we had to switch everything up. And then we go to fight Jamil Jones. And we had to bring in different types of training partners and all of this stuff. So you can only imagine I'm going through this emotional roller coaster, all the stress from coming all these angles. So then I was like, all right, all my friends who fought on it, they mentally prepared me for it as well. They're like, listen, it's very weird fighting there. There's nobody around. You don't hear anything, etc. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's see what happens. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. So when I got there, it was nothing like how it is today. Today, they're like, from what I was told, it's very structured. Ours was like the fifth show. So there was like a lot of weird things happen. Like you had to get like fight kits. Fight kits was all sorts of different sizes. It was a shit show. The first like couple of weeks was a shit show. But then, it ended up getting better. But I go out there and I'm like ready to fight Jamil Jones. They have us in the tough house, the tough training gym. And it's like 102 degrees in there, 105 degrees. We're just steaming hot.
Ooh.
Everybody's in there trying to train, trying to warm up, and it's just hot as hell. So we're like, all right, we're like, whatever. Let's just keep staying hydrated and like do light warm-ups because it was just too hot. So all the fights are going by. Then I'm ready to get going. I'm like, all right. So I'm getting locked in and everything. And then I go out there. And when I go out there, I was the last fight. So everybody else's family, because you only could bring 4 family members, immediate family members, 4 people. Everybody get like 4 tickets. So, and as soon as, the person who's coming there to support a fighter, as soon as they fight, they leave. They normally don't stick around. So when I came out, it was a damn ghost town out there. It was nobody there. It was me. My corners, like Dana, Sean Shelby, and Mick, like the commission people. And then in terms of like audience people, there was a couple of fighters there who was just training at the gym, who had trained for a workout. Then they're like, I'm going to stick around for the Contend Series fights. There's a couple of guys like that. Then there was a couple people from the Tough, because the Tough season, one of the Tough seasons was going on at that time too. And it was just 3 of my boys. That was it.
Wow.
That was everybody. So I went out there, and again, it's quiet. You can hear everything. Went out there, listened to my corner, won the fight. And after I won the fight, everybody was gone. Like nobody. So it was nobody there. I'm like, damn. But it was really different compared to fighting like other places.
Well, that probably helped you with last weekend, with the fact that there's really no fans in there, so that wasn't something that was new to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Also, there was nobody in the gym either, so the training at the gym during this whole camp was helpful too.
Oh, okay.
Because we had to, like, Joe was like opening the back door, letting us spar. Like nobody was in the gym because we couldn't have anybody, and like it was just me and my sparring partner. That's it. It was just me, us 2, working. That was it. So.
See, psychologically, that could either, throw people off or, benefit you. I guess it depends on, where you're at with all that.
Yeah. Especially those, like, crowd fighters that go off the crowd.
Yeah, they feed off that.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can't imagine.
So that brings us to the UFC. What's that been like so far?
So my whole UFC career so far has been, I feel like I went through a learning curve. I came in, I had my first loss. For my debut, I lost. My second fight, I won. My 2 fights after that, well, I had I think a split decision fight with John Allen last summer in July. And that fight was a war. It was really back and forth. But they ended up giving it to him, and then he got popped. Yeah. So I was like, damn. And then I fought in Busan, and in Busan I made one fatal mistake and got hit with a straight right. So yeah, so I'm back on the upswing now.
Yeah, been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
What about the mental preparation for a fight? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because, I mean, like you said, how people feed off the crowd, or you were in there with virtually nobody in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys take fights on, you know, short notice, or they'll take a replacement fight. So what goes into, you know, your mind when you're just, you know, trying to prepare?
So before, I used to always, especially like when I was an amateur and everything, and first starting out, I used to always I would always worry about all these other components, or worry about all these other things, versus to actually worrying about the things that I can control and things that, you know, that affect me. Like I
Right.
was doing, like, I used to try to do too much shit. And when I did that, I noticed I stretched myself thin, and just things wasn't working out for me. So now I'm like, you know what? Now that I matured a little bit, and now I know how to break all that shit down. So now I just do what I have to do and worry about things that I can control. So, and that cleared up so much stress off of me, you know, mentally
Yeah.
as well. So that helped me out big time. Just controlling things I have to do and stop worrying about results. That was another thing. I always worried about results. Oh, I need this, versus to just going out there and performing off the process and just my feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just try to be. So when I did that, things started clicking and things started getting better and better and better. And things started paying off, hence my last
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. What about being an ambassador for Modest Needs Advice?
So Modest Needs is an organization that helps families in need. So say if you're, like a single mom she's a single mom, she's working 3 or 4 jobs, she's trying to, put food on the table, take care of the kids. Modest Needs an organization that will help people in those predicaments. And that's what they typically do. And but COVID hit, so they had a little bit of their own issue with that. They couldn't help other people like they needed the help this time. So I went and I hosted a Rainbow Six Siege tournament over the quarantine break, like the first couple of weeks of quarantine, and it was me and this company called the CCS Esports, their esport organization. They helped me, and we raised money for Modest Needs. We raised over $10,000 for Modest Needs. And from that point on, they were like, dude, thank you for that. That helped so much. And they made me a brand ambassador for them. So
that's awesome. It's always great to give back and use your platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what advice would you have for an up and comer, someone looking to get into MMA?
I would say get involved in strength conditioning. Strength conditioning is huge in our sport. It's something that it's a huge tool that people don't utilize a lot. People always think you need to, obviously, training in the gym will help you with the fight. That is true. But just doing some strength conditioning give you a little bit of an edge. So highly recommend that. Hence why all the top dogs do it. Another thing I would say to people is recovery. Recovery is so important. Make sure you're getting your 8 hours rest. Make sure you're getting that. It's so important because if you have good recovery, you can recover from so many things so much better. Whether you have bumps, bruises, and everything like that. In this sport, you take a lot of hits. So your recovery needs to be important. You need to be like so anal on recovery. Like it's huge. And third, I would say is have fun while you're doing everything. Have fun. Don't always think you need to kill everything and need to be like, oh, I need to no. Have fun, enjoy it. You learn more, you get better enjoying things. Having fun, believe it or not, you learn more. You grasp the information a lot better, right? You're just having fun. Because you're not stressing about it. You're not doing anything. You're not thinking. You're just doing,
Yeah.
So, highly recommend that. And third, and the last and final one, always thank your support team. Anybody who helps you through this whole process, that's helped you through this process, always thank them and be nice to them. Don't be a dickhead to them because when shit hits the fan, you're gonna need them. And in this sport, you always need support, always. So that was the best thing. That was the best advice I can give you.
The highs and the lows.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot was the nickname. Was that something
Slow?
that you came up with, or was that okay?
So I got Slow Mike. So back when I first transferred over from Muay Thai gym to Lozon's, my boxing coach Steve Mays, he was holding mitts for me for the first time, and he's seen me fight on a local circuit, but he never like trained with me. So I'm hitting the mitts with him, and he's like, "Holy fuck!" I was like, "What?" It's like, "You're so slow." He's like, "You're like molasses slow." I was like, "Oh man!" And everybody just from there, everybody used to just clown me how slow I am. Because like in Muay Thai, you punch from the hip. It's not like boxing where it's like a lot of arm punching, like more finesse. So it's like, so he's like, "Dude, nah, we got to change this." So I worked a lot on my boxing, and I'm a lot better now. I'm not slow anymore. But yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, it definitely stuck. And then, when you get your wins, that's definitely a good a nickname for it. You know what I mean?
I know.
It throws people off. It threw me off anyways. So what's next for you?
Right now, I'm going to try to get this room clean, get everything up out of here. That's one. And two, I'm going to I'm gonna get back into training tomorrow. Start going back to SOS and doing jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Because I want another fight. I probably want to fight in October.
Okay.
Looking like October. Yeah.
All right.
Late October will be good. So yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I appreciate you taking the interview. It's been a pleasure.
Man. Thank you, man.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.